Hey, this is Miss JJ Diamond, Jacqueline Richardson, Jackie, Deja, whatever y'all call me. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about cancer and what we should be doing to help ourselves, try to beat this thing and not allow cancer cells to live in our bodies. My mom. I want to talk about my mom first. I have two books out there with a story about my mom. One is in a short story in Wounded Survive and Thrive, and the other one is in my book, That Boxer. And y'all can get that on Amazon. But I talk about her death in the book because it was a very important part of my life. My mom, she was fighting hypertension, okay, high blood pressure, and addiction, and a few other things, So she was ill. And if some of y'all know, if y'all read my story in Wounded Survive and Thrive, me and my mother didn't have a good relationship when I was a child because I resided with my aunt due to my little brother getting killed. However, the last 13 years of my life, and the reason why I called the chapter in Wounded Survive and Thrive, The Faith to Forgive, is because I needed to forgive my mother. This is what God told me to do. A lot of people don't understand. Yeah, I can be straightforward person, but I am a strong believer in God. I've always been. I've been going to church since I was a little bitty thing. Even when my parents didn't go to church, I went to church. Every Sunday, every Wednesday, I went for my Bible studies. So, I had a relationship with God for a long time. So when people see me singing and talking about God, it's because it's real in my life, people. However, when you're fighting the war of living between the worldly things and living for God, it's really hard, and I'm not perfect. However, I try my best to do the things that's right by God so he can continue to bless me. And this is why have had so many blessings. When you do good, it brings good to you. That saying, good vibes only, good energy. Well, it's true. When you do good, good comes to you. When you do bad, bad comes to you. So, with that being said, I just want to talk about the cancer thing a little bit because it's weighing on me. My mom had died in Montefiore Hospital back in February 16th, 2012 to be exact. And I had to drive from Maryland to, pretty much be there when she died. And it was really hard for me. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because people don't realize what they put on their families. When you are beating yourself down with drugs, food, not taking care of yourself, you may say you don't care. However, your family members have to deal with the aftermath of whatever you've done to yourself if they care, and this is why I'm making this podcast. Now, I was pissed off with my mom because I had wanted to put her in. My mother had a simple cancer, okay? It was at stage 4, okay? However, it could have been beat. The doctors told me it could have been beat, that she was not terminal. It was at stage 4. But she chose death, okay? Now, I understood a little bit why she chose death, and I think a great part of it was because her and my father just got a divorce. But I can't be sure because I wasn't in her brain. But I believe that had a part of killing her faster. The stress, and she wasn't able to get out her true feelings to what she was going through. You just lost your husband, now you diagnosed with cancer. And all these things will affect your body and your mental, you know. But getting back to my mom, I had wanted to put her in a. It's not like a assisted living, but it's a place for people with cancer. And I had brought it up in that boxer. I didn't get to put it there. However, um, that's what I was about to do with her before she died at Montefiore Hospital in the Bronx. I had two family members that died in that hospital, so you know I hate that hospital, y'all. I mean, I don't look at coincidences. You know, my aunt, she passed away in the hospital. My aunt Alice, and my mother. You know, I'm sorry, my mother. Y'all know I'm a New Yorker, so we say mother. But yeah. And not only did my mom pass away in there, the day I was there, one of my friends, mom was crazy, My mom's friend, my friend, that I went to school with every day, we walked to school every day, even when she was in high school. Um, we would pick each other up from, whoever got out of school first would come to each other's school to pick each other up so we could go home together. I don't want to mention his name, but you know who he is. Shout out to you. I'm always love you. Um, but he was there to hold me when my mother had passed away. And none of my friends that I grew up with, other than him, was there. It was like God sat him there to give me that support that I needed because some of my family members was there, and I didn't go to them to hold me. I went to my friends, to give me that support mentally and physically for that moment when I was down at the hospital. You know, so where I'm going with this is people, we have to do better. We have to start eating better, taking care of ourselves, find the foods that help with cancer and help with the healing of our bodies. Now I know y'all see me on TikTok, Instagram, and y'all see me with a big bloated belly. And that's how you know when I'm eating healthy. Because I'll have a big bloated belly, not because I'm fat, because a lot of the foods that are healthy for me make me sick. Just like how antibiotics do. When you take antibiotics and you get diarrhea, stomach hurt, and, you go through it before you get better. So, like with myself, I'm a more healthy type of person. I like vegetables. I like herbs. I do things the godly way. And it's the same effect. When you eat these things, it affects you, bad, but long term, it helps you and keep your body healthy. So, I'm going to use broccoli, for instance. Broccoli is one of the most high antioxidants foods out here. And it makes me real sick. And I mean real sick. Okay, because I've always had stomach issues. And there's a lot of foods that I just can't eat because it's going to make me sick. But it benefits me on the other side of me not getting diseases or keeping my immune system built up so I won't get sick. And these are the things that y'all need to do. I lost, it's like 7 of them that I physically buried in my family because of them not taking care of themselves. Now, a lot of people knew my mother. A lot of people knew Tina on Cortland Avenue, but when y'all hear me talk about, let me tell y'all this too. When y'all hear me talk about Grandma Tina, that's my great grandmother. Okay, now was two Tinas in our family. We had, and they both named were Armatine. You had Armatine Dowdy and you had Armatine Rodriguez. Okay, well, both of them names were actually Armatine Rodriguez, but my mother took her father's name. And what? Yeah. However, my grandmother Tina, She was the one that, when I put up her pics, she was the one that fought for and protested for Negro leadership. Okay. So y'all might see those pictures come down the timeline sometime. Y'all might hear people talking about it, about the culture, and my grandma Tina and her Negro protesting, and what she used to do back in Harlem. Okay, she was a very known woman in Harlem. She went to that church down there on Morningside. Oh, geez, I can't even remember the street. I ain't been home in so long, y'all. But matter of fact, the church was in New Jack City. The church that y'all see in New Jack City movie, that's the church my grandmother was a member of, and she was a very, very big member. And she was very known in Harlem. Everywhere we went, from the blacks to the Hispanics to whoever, the Jews, it didn't matter. She was known. You know, my grandmother used to drag me all over Harlem with her, and we'd be going all over the place, you know, and I miss my great-grandmother. And I grew up with her, and I love the fact that I was able to live life with her, to get to know who she was. Now going back to my mother, that's Tina as well. We have Tina, Doris, and then Tina. Okay? Tina, that's great-grandmother. Doris, that's Tina's daughter. And then we had Tina, baby Tina, which was my mother. Okay? And they all passed away. With my grandmother, Doris, she passed away from alcoholism. Okay, and this is one of the reasons why I try not to drink, people. And she was one just like I was. When I drink, I want to fight. So I had to beat that curse. You know, people say, oh, she don't drink. You know, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I needed to beat that curse in my family, okay, because we had a lot of alcoholics in our family. When Grandma Doris died, Grandma Doris didn't have a liver. Okay? I experienced my Grandma Doris dying in the house. Okay? She was watching Tom and Jerry, and she went to sleep and never woke up. And I was at school. When I came home, the fire department and everything was outside, and they told me I couldn't go in there because my grandmother was dead. Okay, so that was Grandma Doris, you know. And my grandma Tina, she died of just natural causes because her age was getting up there. She was 84 years old. I had thought she was 86, but when I looked at her death certificate, it actually says 84 years old. And a lot of people didn't know Grandma Tina because she, from the Bronx, they didn't know Grandma Tina. She was the head honcho of the family. But she lived in Harlem, and we lived in the Bronx. And Tina was the baby, and she was left with all of the family issues, just like I am right now, you know. But I choose to deal with things differently versus the way she did. You know, she used to drink a lot. She was on a lot of medications, and you know, all that stuff take effect on your body. You know, and I love my mother dearly, but I felt like she could have lived a lot longer. You know. If she would have just took care of herself, you know, and like I had said in the book, she could have beat that thing, you know, and with the help of me and our family, you know, we could have helped her beat that thing. But she chose death, you know, like there was no way out of it, you know, and this is where faith coming at people. And this is something I want to touch base on, you know. People can talk about how much love they have for God. God doesn't want us to die. That's the devil's work. Okay, God wants us to live. Okay, and live happy on earth. You know, he teaches us every day through his book and through his work what we should be doing to live happy on earth, but people choose not to. You know, I'm a very happy person, always been. I don't need to get drunk. I don't need to get high. I do me. Y'all see me act a fool on Instagram, on Instagram and TikTok, and that's because I love it. You know, y'all may look at me, but y'all the ones that's drinking and tearing up y'all bodies while I'm jumping around having fun, which is keeping me alive. You know, and I just wanted to throw that out there. Not that I'm better than anybody, but y'all just need to evaluate what you do and And think about your families when y'all are deciding to harm yourselves to make yourself happy, because you're also harming your family as well. When I'll never forget the whole scenario when my mother died. I was in Atlantic City when Whitney Houston passed away, that was 2 days before my mother. And I called my mother. My mother loved Whitney Houston. And I called my mother, and she said, Jackie, I know, I heard. And I'm like, okay. So I said, I was on my way to New York anyway, so I just wanted to call her and see, how she felt, and how she was feeling about Whitney Houston dying. Never thought in a million years, 2 days later, she'd be dead. You know what I mean? So that's what I experienced. I experienced having to go and get her dog. Me and her dog stuck in my truck to the next morning so I can do her, because I lived all the way in Maryland. I didn't want to drive to Maryland and then have to drive back the next day. So I just slept in my truck overnight in the Bronx, and with her dog. And no, actually I didn't. That wasn't the day I slept in the truck, y'all. I'm sorry. That was another day. I had slept in my aunt's house, and then I took the dog, and we just stayed in the truck waiting for the stuff to open up. Anyway, long story short, I had to go and do her funeral arrangements and everything by myself. People say, they look at me and they say, oh, why is Jackie doing this, Jackie doing that? When it comes to the industry, the music industry, entertainment industry. First, I want to go back here. I've been in the entertainment industry for over 30 years, okay? I wasn't a rapper for 30 years. I was in the clubs dancing. I was known by a lot of the singers and rappers in the entertainment business. And it doesn't change just because you go to a new profession, okay? In the entertainment business. It doesn't change. Your status don't change, okay? People going to remember you. People are going to big you up. People are going to help you. That's just where it is. You know what I mean? Like when y'all see me do stuff, for somebody on Instagram or Facebook, could be 50, it could be DMX, it could be Snoop Dogg. These people know me from before. Okay, when I was in the industry. It's just like I'm walking in the industry brand new and they helping me. No, okay, it doesn't work that way. These people have known me in the industry before. My mother was a dancer. She was a ballet dancer, okay? And she was known for dancing. People will tell you, people that knew my mother, they'll call her a traveling party. That's what she did. She partied. She had her drinks. She liked her music. And this is what we did. I grew up in a household with people that partied every chance they got to stay happy. You know what I mean? Only thing they had to have that alcohol or drugs to keep them going. And I choose to delete that curse in my life. And people don't understand that. There comes a time where sometimes we have to leave things in the past. And I had told somebody on Instagram, they keep focusing on the past. And I get it. We all know what happened in the past. The slavery, the beatings, all of this stuff. But y'all can't keep focusing on something that's already happened. You use that to try to get your mind straight for the future. Okay? You can't live in the past. And this is where things are going wrong at, because people want to continue to live in the past. You use the past to reflect your future. Just like with my mom. She died from cancer. She used to drink a lot. She used to take all these pills from the hospital. Excuse me. And she passed away. So why would I continue to follow her path if she's dead? Do y'all follow me? Even though that this is my mom, and I know that a lot of things my mother taught me was great, but the outcome wasn't always good. So if the outcome wasn't good, why am I going to follow that path? I mean, just think about it. Okay? Same with history. If the outcome didn't turn out great, Why would we continue to follow that path? Let's come together, think of a new way to make things better. You know? So, and I hope y'all follow me with that, because that's like you're training a child, put a child in the chair and tell him sit there, and he's not sitting there. He's not doing what he's supposed to do. In other words, sitting in the chair. So you got to find another solution, okay, to get this child to sit in the chair when you tell him to sit in the chair. Okay? That's just the way it works. And it's the same with us in America in unity. Now, with the cancer situation, we went through 20 years of us seeing people die with cancer. Okay, and we fought that battle, and we kept trying to tell everybody, you got to do this. It took them 20 years to get it. We need to eat healthy. We need to work out. We need to do this. We need to do that. Did they get it? Yeah, the cancer rate is going down, but it took 20 years. Okay, so do y'all follow me? It took 20 years for these people to get it right. So where I'm going is, y'all need to start listening from the beginning and paying attention from the beginning, because some of us have that message early. Okay? And we can tell you. And the reason why we had that message early is because God has already put us through it. I'm not going to tell y'all nothing that I have never been through. Okay? Or know a possibility can happen from it. Okay? And that's just me. I don't know about anybody else. That's me, Jacqueline Richardson, Miss JJ Diamond. I'm not going to tell you nothing that's wrong. I'm not going to lie to you about something that I know can't be done. Okay? So, with that being said, if I'm telling you, take care of yourself, it's a reason for it. You know? And sometimes we have to let go of those that want to hurt not only themselves, but hurt us as well. Because you already know the outcome. And it's not like you're running. Is that, okay, and I'm going to use my dad for instance. You know, I understood his parts as well as I understood my mother. And my dad hates when I talk about his life, and especially when it comes to my mom. But you got to remember, it was part of my life too, so he has to respect it. When my dad and my mom broke up, before they broke up, my dad kept coming to her and said, Tina, please stop drinking. Please stop drinking. And she refused, you know. He kept calling me, Jackie, please try to help your mom, you know, talk to your mom about drinking. And I'll try to talk to her. You know, my mother was a very loving person, okay? She just had an addiction issue, you know, and that's an illness, people. It runs in your family, you know, and this is why I try to stay away from drugs, even man-made drugs that the doctors give you. You know, like they give me these allergy pills that make me all high, and I hate it because, you know, as time go on, it doesn't make me high anymore. That means I need more of it. And eventually I'm going to become addictive and overpower my body with this medication, you know, and I don't want to do that. So I always find ways, you know, and this is one of the reasons why I've created the Diamond Way. The Diamond Way was created, actually, my potion of the Diamond Way was created back in Buffalo, New York. If y'all want to know when I first created this potion of to help me, I was in a car accident, and my body pretty much shut down on me. Okay, and was so bad to where I was in so much pain to where I just couldn't function no more. I couldn't dance. I used to dance every day of my life, okay? If it wasn't at home, it was in the club. And when I came to the club, you know, they opened their arms, for, you know, she here, you know, and I get on the floor. I wasn't a stripper, people. I was a dancer. I got on the floor and I danced. I did my popping. You know, I do a little bit now, but my body is still not 100%. And that was the impact of a Mack truck hitting the side of my door and crashing it in. Okay, I was 28 years old. I was a baby. Okay? So I take it serious when you behind the wheel. I take it serious when I'm behind the wheel. Okay? I don't drink. I try not to take medication, but sometimes I have to. I won't be able to get to the destination that I need to get to, due to my allergies. However, it stripped my life away. Okay? It stripped my life away. And I had to find alternatives to try and beat that. Okay? And that alternative was my bath soak. Okay? I had created this bath soak back in Buffalo, New York. Shout out to my Indian family, the natives. They pretty much guided me to that, so I got to give them that love. It's just what it is, people. My native family, if y'all didn't know, we do have native in our family. I'm actually waiting to get our names put on the actual books, like my great-great-grandmother did. Her name is actually in the books, and I'm going to put our names in the books as well. However, my native family up in Buffalo, they led me to create this bath soap. And as time went on, I forgot all about it. I would drive all the way to Niagara Falls to get my stuff that I needed. Me and my girlfriend, Evelyn, God bless her soul, she passed away a couple of years ago now. But we would drive to Niagara Falls so I can get my eucalyptus and get my lavender and everything that I needed to help me with my allergies and my body. Because I suffered from allergies really, really bad in Buffalo as well, especially during the summertime. So I always had to make my potion so I can feel good, I had forgot all about that when I got here to North Carolina. I was doing it in Maryland, but not as much because my body didn't hurt too much when I was in Maryland. Once I found out what I needed to do to keep my body from hurting, and number one key was the exercise. When I got to Maryland and my body broke down on me, shout out to Hartford Memorial Hospital in Havre de Grace, Maryland. The doctor told me, he said, listen, you need surgery. He was like, and the only way to beat this, he said, because you don't like to take medication, is you're going to have to exercise. So I exercised a lot in Maryland, where I became really small, and people thought I was on drugs. And no, I wasn't on drugs. I just worked out every day, and then I had a job of hard labor, working at Frito-Lay. And I had to work out every day. That was my life, in order for me to get through a day without being in pain and miserable. I had to work out and come home and soak my body, and release all that stress and get that pain out my body. And this is one of the reasons why I gave y'all the Diamond Way, so y'all can feel like I feel and be able to jump around like I jump around. It's not, I'm not saying that y'all don't jump around because y'all feel like, oh, I'm old now, I shouldn't be jumping around. But you should be, because your heart needs to continue to pump. And if your heart sits too long, it slows down. Okay? And if that's what your body gets used to, it's going to slow down each and every day. So y'all need to take heed to that. I used to tell my mother about exercise and she wouldn't listen to me. Now, before my mother died, my mother weighed 130 something pounds. Okay, she had lost all this weight because the doctor had told her if she didn't get rid of the weight, she was going to have a heart attack. So she was fighting a lot of things, people. Her heart was real weak because she didn't work the heart. She thought because she walked upstairs every day, because she lived on the third floor, that she walked upstairs every day, that her heart would be okay. But your body get immune to those same exercises. So once your body get immune to that exercise, you got to move on to another exercise so your body will not adjust. Okay? Because that's the thing. People, they go into the gym, and this is why people with that's healthy is still getting COVID. Okay? Because your body's immune to what you already have done. This is why you got to switch up. Okay? A lot of people say, oh, Jackie, you eating sugar. There's nothing wrong with eating sugar. Okay? And then 6 months from now, I may take a whole break off of sugar. You got to balance your body. You got to make your body, what's the word I'm looking for? Once your body gets immune to something, okay, it's no longer beneficial to you. So you got to confuse the body. Okay, I don't know if I'm saying it right. So like, I can eat, say, broccoli every single day. Every single day. And, I'm going to use this because I do eat this almost every day, but I had to fall back. Tangerines. Okay, I'll eat a bag of tangerines almost every night. Now, y'all know how expensive that could be. But I'll do it. Okay? But after a while, my body won't even soak in the vitamin C the way it needs to. Because now my body's immune to it. So I have to fall back from it for a little while and then take it in again. Okay? This is the way the body works. This is the way God designed it. But we can't overdo anything. You can't overdo vitamins. You can't overdo eating healthy, because your body is going to get immune to it. And then it's not going to be there to help you when you need it. Okay? I'm going to use my mother for instance. The cancer that she had was beatable. And it would have been beatable with just by the foods that she eat and maybe some treatment from the hospital. But she didn't want to listen. She gave up. And it hurt me so bad because I know so many cancer survivors. I know a lot of cancer survivors. And I'm like, well, why did you survive? Not saying that they should have died, but I'm just saying on a fact, like, why couldn't my mother live? But she didn't have the knowledge that she needed to have to say, I can fight this, and have the faith. Okay. And that's the thing about me. A lot of people say, like, I'm 50 right now. She's done with life. I can't be done with life. Why am I done with life? I'm only 50 years old. Life is just beginning. Because my kids almost all my kids are grown. Okay, so how life is over for me? Because the average 50-year-old that they see can't walk, could barely move, drugged out, or an alcoholic. That's not what the average 50-year-old looks like. The average 50-year-old can jump around. They still look young. And they're doing whatever they need to do to try to take care of themselves, to make their lives longer. But that's not the average 50-year-old. You got 50-year-old people having babies, 55-year-old people having babies. I know, matter of fact, Janet Jackson was one. Okay? And you see her, she's still jumping around. So, with that being said, just because a person turned 50 don't mean life is over. Life is just getting started for real. When you look back in the Bible days, those people lived 200, 300, 600 years. Okay? We can't, unfortunately, because of the world that we live in today. We have the ozone layer breaking down. Okay, the sun is beating through. Our bodies need the sun for the vitamin D, but our bodies can't take so much sun. Because God, when he created the earth, he created layers so you can only feel the rays of it. Now we're getting direct sun on our skin. We have the fumes from the cars that's burning up the ozone layer. This is why they're getting into the electric vehicles. So when y'all see me market the Tesla or the Lexus, it's because those are electric cars. We want to stop our ozone from being burnt up. We want to stop not being able to breathe because of what we have created here on Earth. Okay? Now, this is where reading your history and understanding it comes to play. Okay, nobody said that we had to go back to riding horses, which we can. There's nothing wrong with it. However, the cars that we drive in, every time we start them up and gas them up, it's killing us little by little. And this is how we're getting all these different diseases. And we need to pay attention to that stuff and work towards trying to change these things instead of fighting over why it's happening. Stop worrying about why it's happening, because we weren't there when they decided to build the first car or the first plane or whatever the case may be. Now we need to fix it. Okay? Just like with the cancer. As time went on, people start listening. Okay, we got to get tested. Every year I go to get my breast test. Even though none of my family members passed away from breast cancer, but cancer still runs in our family, and cancer is in our blood cells. So I always go get tested for breast cancer each year. And this year I felt back, though, because of this COVID situation. I don't want to be around too many people. I try to stay away from people as much as possible. So I haven't been this year. However, I will go. They've been writing me like, come on, well, you the faithful. And yes, I am the faithful. However, right now this COVID got me sitting down. And that's what God says do. When he says sit down, sit down. If you can't help it, you can't help it. But for right now, I'm falling back because if I take a test now, today, or 6 months from now, it's going to be the same outcome. So I'm not in a hurry, to go run and go get my testing. I'm going to fall back for a minute with that. But the point that I'm trying to make with you guys is, just think about taking care of yourselves. I'm watching the whole world right now, not the whole world, the whole United States being diagnosed with COVID. And y'all don't even know what this stuff is going to do to you 10 years from now. You can have a bad effect from this COVID 10 years from now and don't know why. I see people out there with no masks on. They're like, oh, well, everybody else got it. So I might as well get it too. But you don't want to jeopardize that because you don't know what kind of effects it's going to have on you later on. So continue to wear your mask. Take care of yourselves out there. That's pretty much all I can say, because every day that I go out there, my mask is on. Because I don't want to bring one. I got bad allergies and I'm pneumonia prone. So being that I'm pneumonia prone, I definitely don't want to catch that thing. Okay? And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? I just can't subject myself to, if I catch it, I can't do nothing about it. But if I could prevent it, I will. And that's where with these illnesses, cancer, and all these other diseases that's out here, high blood pressure and all this stuff that's out here. If you can prevent getting this stuff, then do it. This is one of the reasons why I use a lot of herbs. My blood pressure is like a child's blood pressure. I'm not going to say a child, but a 20-year-old blood pressure. I've been told that several times, and they look at me and they're like, she ain't even sick for real. And I'm like, well, I'm just here for my allergies. But the reason being is because I want to prevent issues. You got to learn to prevent stuff from happening. And that's just how I live, and that's why I stay happy. I may not be the richest person, but I'm happy because I have preventative measures set in my life. And one of those preventable measures is God and having faith. And a lot of people don't understand it. Yes, I still listen to my rap music. I still listen to my sexual music because God knows I'm not perfect. Only one that was perfect was Jesus Christ. And I'm not. I'm still working. He's still working on me. But I got some things down packed, though. Okay? I got some things working for me. But it takes a while, people. It takes a while to become that full-fledged Christian that you proclaim to be. It just doesn't happen overnight. I used to didn't call myself a Christian because I didn't fully live the way God wanted me to live. But it's two different worlds when it comes to Christians. In the Jehovah Witness world, you live totally different. You will live like a Christian. In the regular world, Christians are people that's trying every day to live godly. And I'm one of those. So people told me to stop saying that I wasn't a Christian because I really am. But I proclaim not to be because I was also raised by the Jehovah Witnesses too. So, they taught me a lot of things. And that's why I always said I wasn't a Christian, because I'm not perfect. And there's certain things that I just won't do. If I was a Jehovah Witness, people, I couldn't even make the music that I make. So that's why I said I'm not a Christian. I don't live for the devil, but I'm not a full-fledged Christian. Because, if I get upset, you're going to hear me curse like a sailor. And a full-fledged Christian ain't going to do that. You jump in my face wanting to fight me, I'm going to fight you back. A full-fledged Christian is not going to do that. You know what I mean? So I still got work to do, But I do have a strong belief in God. I pray every single day, 2-3 times a day. And this is the truth. Anybody can tell you that be around me. Okay. People walk in my room, they get in my car, and I'm praying. And that's what I do. And I've been like that for a long time. So those that don't believe that, I'm really in this thing. Yeah, I'm really in this thing. I may not go to church that much because I dedicate myself and volunteer my life to a servant for God, but I'm in this thing. Okay? I just want y'all to start believing more in God, and whatever God you believe in, whether it be Allah, whether it be Jehovah, whether it be a Buddha, it doesn't matter. Follow the way. God just wants us to be happy on earth, and when we come to that time, which will be soon, and I believe it's going to be sooner than we think, we will have no other choice but to live off of what God wants us to live off of. We ain't going to have no other choice, so you might as well prepare yourself now. I've been preparing myself for years. I know a lot of y'all are afraid, but you can't be afraid of God. Right. This is the conclusion of this podcast. I just want to tell each and every one of y'all that I love y'all. For all those that continue to follow me, thank you. Those that support me with my music, thank you. I just released a new song called XO. Y'all can get that on all platforms. It's JJ Diamond, XO. The Diamond Way is out there, y'all. If y'all don't want to be hurting and be in pain, y'all hit me up for that. And y'all remember, I got that book, that boxer out there, True Love Story. Y'all need to read it. But I'm going to talk to y'all all later. I love y'all. Take care.